Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of Lovekami Divinity stage on Nintendo Switch. And it's been a couple days since I've read to you guys. Got a crazy schedule. There, it's done. I finished editing the video I'd taken today and uploaded it to the site. It featured the rehearsal and a few of Shuri and Kagura's exchanges. I wonder what kind of response it'd get. Oh, right. As for your current rankings, Shuri 27th, Kagura 30th. They both improved a little. The first video must have done its job, but it was interesting how Shuri was higher than Kagura now. I was looking forward to finding out what the duo name would be tomorrow. The next day, as soon as I got up in the morning, I loaded up the audition site. I guess this won't be that easy. It was full of anticipation as I checked the comments for our new video, but unfortunately the response was lukewarm. The initial announcement may have been kind of sensational, but the rehearsal footage just highlighted the girls' inexperience. I guess giving it your best by itself is not enough to pull in the fans. Of course, there were some genuinely positive comments, but there were also plenty that were honest about the flaws in Shuri and Kagura's performance. Looks like my fears hadn't been unfounded after all. It's time to shake things up a little. Shuri and I had dropped by the Goddess's Cafe to wait for Kagura to finish her shift. As soon as we stepped inside, she bounded up to us to announce her news. It went without saying that a new victor had been decided in the ongoing battle for leadership of the duo. Maybe I'll have a word with the manager. Kagura looked genuinely repentant. Probably not. It's getting her pay deducted that Kagura's afraid of. Losing a chunk of her salary would have serious effect on Kagura's daily life. We shouldn't joke about it. I'd already told both of them about the disappointing response. The reason we were meeting up now was to discuss what we could do about it. Yeah, maybe all we can do is upload a few more videos to try to show your progress. Quit it, I'm blushing. Yeah, I know. Some may say there's nothing wrong with a school uniform, but uniforms don't exactly scream divine idol. Even a few comments had complained that the girls didn't have proper outfits. I couldn't deny a stage outfit was what the fans wanted. Sure, let's give that a try and see what happens. I guess we can't keep making it up as we go. We'd end up in trouble if we don't put together a good performance pretty soon. The wait was over. Shuri's stage clothes were finally ready. The girls hadn't looked bad in their uniforms, but this outfit would make Shuri look all the more authentic.
それにしても遅いな。いつまで着替えてるんだろう。
Kagura ran out of patience and tried to barge in on Shuri. But at that moment, Sarah returned from helping Shuri change.
お待たせ、二人とも。着付け終わったわよ。
So, where's the lady of the hour?
恥ずかしがって出てこないの。どうする？こっちから行く？よーし、こうなったら私の踊りでシュリに出てこさせるよ。
Well, you are Ame no Uzume after all. The old legends say that when Amaterasu shut herself away in a cave, Ame no Uzume danced so beautifully that the sun goddess was tempted back into the world. So perhaps Kagura's moves could even drag out the suddenly shy Shuri.
じゃあ、早速。
Kagura took hold of the hem of her uniform skirt. Whoa, whoa, what are you doing?
踊りに人力を乗せるには神様服を着てないと効果激減だし。
But you're a goddess. Shouldn't you be able to use, like, magic or something to change your clothes instantly? That's what Sarah always did. I looked to her for help, but she shook her head apologetically.
あれは神様なら誰でもできることじゃないのよ。私はサラさんみたいにすごくないから普通にお着替えしなきゃいけないんだよ。
Kagura rummaged around in her bag and brought out her outfit. She looked more like a cosplayer than a goddess. Wait, you're not gonna change in here, are you?
いいじゃん別に。裸になるわけじゃないんだし。私気にしないよ。
As she spoke, Kagura began to strip.
待って、お願いだからそれ以上脱ぐのはやめてね。やだよ。
Shuri, please come out. You're the only one who could stop her now. Kagura wasn't listening to us anymore, so I shouted through the door for Shuri to help.
何やってるのよ。もう。
It wasn't what we'd planned, but Kagura did make Shuri show herself.
そんなにジロジロ見ないでってば。恥ずかしいじゃない。
Shuri's stage clothes showed a lot more skin than I'd expected. And that said, it wasn't obscene in any way. It had kind of a mystical feel about it.
必勝点っぽさはうまく出せたと思うんだけど、どうかな。
The outfit was unlike Sarah's or Kagura's, a design totally unique to Shuri. In her uniform, she could probably be mistaken for a human, but in this outfit, her divinity was clear for everyone to see.
顔を真っ赤にして黙らないでよ。
Okay, okay. I think it's, well...
おかしくないかしら。
No, it looks great on you. Giving her a straight-up compliment felt awkward. This was the best I could come up with. Shuri's sex appeal had shot through the roof. There was just something really attractive about it.
そうかな。ちょっと肌見せすぎじゃない？
Nope.
そんなことないわよ。神様アイドルの衣装なんてみんなこれくらいだし。いいなあ、シュリの衣装。私のよりずっとエッチで。
Hey, we were trying to avoid using that word.
あれ？私は褒めたつもりだったんだけど。
In Kagura's world, sexy is justice. I wouldn't say I disagree, but this wasn't the time to bring it up.
やっぱりエッチなんだ。
Shuri looked even more embarrassed than before.
エッチなのはいいことだよ。ファンのみんなだってエッチなシュリが大好きだよ。そんなのやだ。
Kagura was doing her best to be supportive, but her values were way too different from Shuri's.
そうだ。サリーはどうしたの？あれをつけていればエッチな感じじゃなくなると思うけど。つける。
Shuri had been on the verge of tears, but Sarah's suggestion helped her regain her composure a little.
すごくいいじゃない。
Sarah applauded the new addition to the ensemble. I think she tried to sound extra enthusiastic to avoid making Shuri too insecure to wear the outfit.
エッチさが減っちゃったよ。つまんないの。そっかそっか。エッチじゃなくなったのか。
Kagura's disinterest seemed to reassure Shuri. Maybe the outfit was less explicit now, but it was still sexy. Actually, I kind of like it better than before. The look suited Shuri a lot more. The sari covered up a lot, but the material was so thin that you could easily see through it. Somehow catching a glimpse through the fabric was much more sensual than if her skin had been totally exposed. I don't totally agree with that, no. That's wrong.
ちょっとヤマト、無言で見つめないでよ。
No, sorry, I was just so captivated by your beauty.
神がかってた？私が？
The sari gives you this air of mystery. Makes you look a lot more like a goddess, not to mention cute. As I spoke, I felt myself blushing more and more, but I carried on and did my best to boost Shuri's self-esteem.
そっか。ヤマトがそこまで言うんなら、これはこれで悪くないのかもしれないわね。ヤマトってば、シュリのことばっか褒めすぎ。
I can't help it. That's just how I feel.
人間代表のヤマトがそう感じちゃったのなら仕方ないわよね。遠慮しないで、もっと褒めていいのよ。
You just look so gorgeous. Those clothes really look good on you.
そっか、困っちゃうな。
She sure did love getting praise. Thanks to the improvement in Shuri's mood, we managed to settle the matter of her outfit. Okay, I'm gonna start recording. We'd moved to my room and were staging an impromptu photo shoot. It was a good chance to create some buzz around Shuri's new outfit.
可愛いことってね、ヤマト。私も。神楽&シュリかっこ仮の座は受け渡さないんだから。
Today, the duo's name had been changed to Kagura and Shuri to be seen, and Kagura had accordingly taken over as leader. That probably wouldn't last long once the fans saw Shuri's new look.
並んでみると全く統一感ないわね。これでよかったの？いいの。神様は個性が大事なんだから。
Maybe designing both girls' outfits around a similar theme would make them look more like a real duo. But these two weren't going to be working together forever. After the qualifiers ended, they'd be competing against each other.
私とシュリじゃ性格も全然違うんだし、これでいいんじゃないかな。そうね。ところで、どうしてサラさんも着替えてるんですか？
Shuri shot a surprised glance at Sarah.
二人だけ可愛くしてるなんてずるいもん。ずるいもんって。
Shuri rolled her eyes. In an attempt to escape Shuri's gaze, Sarah hid behind me.
二人の邪魔はしないから。ね。ほら、ヤマト君の後ろで映らないようにしてるから。
Hold on a minute, Sarah. That plan was all well and good, but she was awfully close. The sweet fragrance of her perfume and her soft body against mine was going to distract me.
ささ、続けて。邪魔しないなら構いませんけど。
Despite their own charms, Kagura and Shuri were pretty intimidated by the superstar aura Sarah emitted. I think it made them both more aware of what kind of level they'd need to reach in the future.
私やシュリよりずっとお肌隠れてるのに、どうしてあんなにエッチい感じなの？同性の私から見てもすっごく魅力的なのよね。
I could practically hear the other girls' unvoiced complaints. Oh, looks like your new outfit is a big hit, Shuri. We got a lot more comments than before. I guess we could call this development a success. And it's not just Shuri's, I guess this counts as announcing Kagura's too. She posted photos before, but this was the first time she'd uploaded a video of herself in costume since forming the duo. Lots of people say it's sexy. These outfits were in a completely different league than the altogether less revealing uniforms.
やっぱりエッチって言われまくってるし。
After practice, we'd gone to Kagura's cafe and continued checking the reactions to the video on the tablet.
みんな喜んでくれてるし、いいと思うけどな。ほらほら、順位だって上がってるよ。って、またスリに抜かれちゃってるじゃん。
Today, they'd be Shuri and Kagura to be TPC.
それより神楽こそ、よくそんな格好で平気ね。慣れだよ慣れ。シュリだって神様アイドル目指してるなら、こういう衣装で人前に立つのも慣れなきゃダメだよ。
Saying that, Kagura went back to work.
私もこういうお店でバイトした方がいいのかな。
And dance on stage like Kagura?
正直私には辛いわ。
Shuri had finally approved her outfit, but she evidently still had some issues.
まあいいわ。とにかくコメントに返信するわね。
We started replying to the video's comments. There were some pretty personal questions mixed in, but I think most fans were just excited to be able to talk to a real live divine idol.
もうまたエッチな質問だよ。
You know, you don't have to answer every single one. You can always ignore them or pass them over to Kagura.
そういうわけにはいかないでしょ。この人は私のことが知りたいんだから、神楽に押し付けるなんてとんでもない。
I guess so. You're doing a great job, though.
何よいきなりびっくりするじゃない。
Sorry, just do the best you can, alright? Shuri and Kagura really knew what they were doing. Even though they were working as a duo, each of them was trying to learn from the other, then use that experience to surpass them.
ヤマトはこの調子で頑張れって言うけど、本当にそれでいいのかな。エッチな方向で話題になるのはやっぱり違うと思うんだ。私はパフォーマンスでファンのみんなを魅了したい。 L7 と比べたらまだまだだと思う。でも新メンバーになろうって言うなら、サラさんたちに匹敵するレベルにならないと。 だからヤマトもそのつもりでいて。私は神楽と一緒にそこを目指していくつもりだから。
Perhaps I'd been naive to think just increasing the girls' popularity and raising their rank would be enough. All along, Shuri had been thinking about the bigger picture, trying to plan for what would happen if she did pass the auditions and join L7. I understand. I'll do my best to support you two till the very end.
いろいろ難しいと思うけど、よろしく頼むわね。
And that's when I knew I had to change. I'd have to improve my own skill to properly support Shuri and Kagura as they grew as idols.
お待たせ、ヤマト。
My conversation with Shuri had inspired me, and there was something I'd noticed since I was put in charge of filming. My camera technique was way too amateurish, and my editing was nothing to write home about either. I was holding Shuri and Kagura back. There had even been some comments to that effect. Sorry to bother you about this.
いいっていいって。カメラの練習でしょ。神楽&シュリかっこ仮には必要なんだし、付き合うよ。
The fact that she'd sneakily changed the name didn't escape me, but under the circumstances, I decided to let it go.
シュリにも声かけなくてよかったの？せっかくだし一緒に撮ればいいのに。
I did ask, but she turned me down. She said it'd be too embarrassing for her. Shuri was getting used to the camera, but she refused to be filmed for anything other than official footage.
もう恥ずかしいのも慣れたら気持ちよくなるのにね。
You think so?
そうだよ。人に見られるのが嫌で神様アイドルなんてできないって。
We walked out from the side alley onto Akihabara's main street. Somewhere in the massive high-rise building, we found a little photo studio.
それじゃ適当に撮っていいよ。にゃーん。
Kagura lay down on the sofa and meowed at me. Somehow she managed to turn a cute little gesture into dynamite.
あれ撮らないの？のんびりしてるとレンタル時間終わっちゃうよ。
Right. We'd only rented the studio for an hour. I couldn't just stand around. I switched on the camera and started recording.
全体を撮るばっかりじゃなくて、私の魅力的な部分を狙って撮るといいと思うよ。
Kagura's performances at the cafe had been recorded, so she already had a few pointers for me. I'd also done some research on my own online and picked up some tips that I wanted to try out.
もしかして恥ずかしがってる？遠慮しないでいいんだよ。ほらほら。
She flashed her well-proportioned thighs at me as if issuing a challenge. I zoomed in and did my best to follow her movements.
あれれ無言？撮りながらなんか喋ってよ。
Sorry, I don't think I can. I was concentrating so hard on getting the filming right, and the subject wasn't making it any easier.
しょうがないな。じゃあ被写体の私が頑張っちゃうしかないか。こういうのはどう？
This time, Kagura tried to accentuate her chest too. She posed in a way that really emphasized the cleavage peeking out from inside her blouse. You don't need to go that far.
別に見えてないんだしいいじゃん。
Just feeling like I might see something makes me more nervous.
なら狙い通りってことだね。ふふふん。
It looked like I'd fallen into Kagura's trap. Spurred on by my reaction, she started to strike even more provocative poses. Her uniform barely covered anything as it was, but the way she was moving it was like I might catch a glimpse of something sensual at any moment.
どう？エッチな気分になっちゃった？
Whatever, it's fine.
ヤマトってばかわいい。もうちょっとサービスしちゃおうかな。
Hey, quit it. I really will see something at this rate. I couldn't take my eyes off her skirt. Right now, she'd been holding it down so it wouldn't get flipped up, but the way she did it was really enticing.
もし見えちゃったらそこは編集でカットしてね。
Of course.
撮るだけならねえ別にいいかな。
No friggin' way. Well, at least that's what I'd said inside my head. When Kagura keeps trying to take it a little further, some things just end up being seen.
ねえ見えちゃってる？
No.
嘘だよ。見えてるでしょ？
But you're supposed to be able to see them, right? You always wear that kind of thing on your shows.
ステージではそういうの履くけどね。今は違うよ。見せない方のパンツだから。
The image of Kagura's private kind of underwear was burned into my eyes.
楽しかった。
Before I knew it, our hour was up. It felt like we'd just finished doing something shady in our own secret room.
どうかな？ちょっとは練習になった？
I think so, thanks to you. I felt emotionally exhausted now, though.
そっか。また練習したくなったら言ってね。いつでも付き合うから。
Kagura waved happily and made a move to leave. Hold on, let me walk you back.
平気平気。それじゃあ出来上がりを楽しみにしてるからね。
And done. There was only about an hour's worth of footage, but the editing took much longer. I thought it'd be simple to show off Kagura's charms, but there were a lot of risque shots that had to be cut. People think I'm some kind of pervert if I release these. So much ass, boobs, and legs, not to mention that private kind of underwear. Well, I'll upload this and hit the hay. I'm beat. I finally finished editing out all the shots that were too explicit. I double and triple checked. I was sure it was fine now. Since this video only had Kagura in it, I uploaded it to her solo account. Whoa, that's fast! People were already commenting within just a few minutes of the video. The video had a ton of views. I had a feeling the duo would be called Kagura and Shuri to be seen tomorrow.
今日の練習はここまでにしよっか。疲れた。
The duo finished their rehearsals and took a well-earned rest. They were learning to cooperate better and didn't argue so much anymore.
カメラを持つヤマトもなかなか様になってきたじゃない。私との特訓の成果ってやつだね。まさか私のいないところであんなことしてたなんてね。
Kagura's individual video had secured her popularity. The group name had been Kagura and Shuri to be seen for 3 days now. Their training was going well, and people were starting to recognize that their skills were improving. But there was still something we were missing. Kagura and Shuri had plenty of passion, but as a duo, they just weren't coming together. Even after all this time, they still hadn't managed an error-free run-through. I've got a long way to go, too. I muttered to myself while going through today's footage. The girls' lack of unity had made me start to doubt my own skills. After practicing with Kagura, I'd gotten a little better with the camera, and my editing was improving too. As a result, I was more capable of showcasing Shuri and Kagura's charms. I still get too nervous shooting the sexy angels, though. It's not like I was trying to take the videos in that direction, but it inevitably ended up that way. Just watching got me all hot and bothered. I couldn't help it. I wasn't used to being around girls. Just remember, they're goddesses. Goddesses, goddesses.
神様がどうかしたの?
I turned around and found Sarah standing behind me. Sarah, what are you doing here?
おばさまに頼まれてお茶を持ってきたんだけど。
Sarah hesitated. It seemed like she was worried about it intruding.
何か悩み事? 私でよければ相談に乗るわよ。
I wouldn't say I'm worried, it's just... What was I supposed to say? That Shuri and Kagura were too beautiful?
やっぱりユニットのこと？ヤマト君に任せちゃって迷惑だったかな?
No, not at all. I enjoy helping them out.
じゃあ何がヤマト君を悩ませているの?
Promise not to roll your eyes if I tell you. I ended up spilling everything.
なるほどね。確かに二人とも可愛い子だから。
What do you think I should do?
私がアドバイスしたら不公平になるからダメと言いたいところだけど、ヤマト君になら問題ないわよね。
Her conscience assuaged, Sarah went on to tell me her idea.
ヤマト君はもっと女の子になれた方がいいと思うの。
Well, yeah, but how?
そこはほら、サラお姉さんが協力してあげる。ぎゅー。
Before I knew what was happening, I found myself enveloped in Sarah's chest. What are you doing?
ぎゅーって抱きしめてるの。
I could work that much out for myself. I just want to know why.
怖くない、怖くない。
I'm not exactly afraid of women or anything.
でもドキドキしちゃうんでしょ？感じるよ、ヤマト君の心臓の音。
My heart must have been hammering really fast. I feel yours too. It's pretty strong.
私もね、男の子にはあんまり慣れてないから同じだね、ヤマト君と。
Sarah felt the same as me. Hearing that took a huge load off my mind.
それにね、きっとシュリちゃんやカグラちゃんも同じ。神様でアイドルだからってそこは人と同じなの。 慣れないことしてドキドキして、でも夢に向かって頑張ってる。平気な顔してる風に見えるけどね、全然そんなことないんだから。
Sarah hugged me even tighter. I could feel her soft warmth, her sweet fragrance, and now even the rhythm of her heartbeat.
可愛いな、好きだなって気持ちを我慢しなくていいの。それが私たちに力をくれるから。好きになることを恐れないで、まっすぐに見て、まっすぐに感じて。
Sarah. She hadn't seen anything wrong with how I felt. Maybe I should just accept the excitement that I felt when I was behind the camera.
どう？少しは落ち着いた？
As far as Shuri and Kagura go, yeah.
あら、それにしてはさっきよりドキドキが大きくなってる気がするんだけど。
I can't help it, what with you hugging me like this. Sarah was suddenly more aware of what she was doing. I could feel her pulse start to speed up too.
ごめんなさい。ドキドキさせちゃって。
That's all good, really. Getting excited is a good thing, right?
そうね。我慢しなくていいって言ったのは私自身だから。ごめんね。ちょっとだけ私もドキドキさせてね。
Sarah didn't deny her own feelings either. To demonstrate, she hugged me close one more time. Sarah's a top-class idol, but opening up to me like this, as if she's a normal girl, is just... If she kept this up, I really might fall for her. Training continued apace. Shuri had gotten more used to her partner's movements, which meant Kagura was free to dance to her heart's content. They had yet to pull off a whole song perfectly, but I was sure they'd get the hang of it soon enough.
よーし、どんどんいっちゃうよー。少しは加減してよ、カグラ。あれ？もしかして私のダンスについてこれない？そういうわけじゃないし、このくらいへっちらだし。
Shuri just couldn't back down from a challenge. She followed Kagura's dance moves, throwing her whole body into it. Or at least she tried to. Her movements always ended up becoming smaller and less projected. I guess Shuri still wasn't used to dancing in a revealing outfit. When she twirled around, she was very obviously holding back so she didn't show her behind to the camera. Shuri walked away to get her clothes back in order.
やっぱし、まだあの服になれないか。
You could tell?
そりゃ気づくよ、パートナーだもん。
We thought Shuri would loosen up given time, but it was starting to look like she needed a little help. I'm not that different. It's not that different from a swimsuit, right?
素材的には水着って感じじゃないよ。どっちかっていうと下着に近いと思う。
What? Now I'm even more impressed. You're so comfortable in that outfit.
下着っぽいってだけで下着とは違うんだけどな。
I couldn't wrap my head around this concept. Does that mean you're...
そうだよ。見てみる？はい、こんな感じだよ。
Without waiting for a reply, Kagura moved aside the skirt part of her costume. I was presented with a full view of a skimpy pair of panties. Whoa, 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 what are you doing?
そんなに驚かないでよ。これもれっきとした衣装の一部なんだから。
Outfit or not, to me they just look like a garment designed only to cover the bare essentials.
いわゆる見せパンってやつだね。
Right. How are they different from normal panties exactly?
衣装からはみ出ちゃまずいからかなりちっちゃい。
Don't you ever feel embarrassed?
心の持ちようってやつだね。にゃー。
Kagura must have a strong will to be able to laugh about that. I'd have to say that Shuri's shyness was a more natural reaction.
見えても一瞬だしね。あんまりまじまじ見られることはないから。で、今ヤマトにまじまじ見られちゃってるか。
Sorry. Cover yourself up, okay? Kagura.
シュリの気持ちも知っておきたいかなって。
I suppose being exposed to my gaze gave her a taste of what shyness was like.
確かにムズムズしちゃうね。これは。顔が熱くなっちゃう。
During her private shoot, I'd only seen brief flashes of skin, but now Kagura had nowhere to hide. Your face is red.
なんかポッポしてる。シュリ、いつもこんな感じなのかな。だとしたらちょっと辛いかも。
Come on, that's enough. You can stop now.
もうちょっとだけ。シュリが戻ってくるまでだから。
For the next few minutes, Kagura continued to show off her underwear to me.
カグラ、動きがぎこちないわよ。ごめん。
This time it was Kagura who was acting uncomfortable. It probably wouldn't last long, and she'd be back to her usual self in no time.
あんたがそれだと調子狂うじゃない。
Following Kagura's constrained dancing couldn't be that easy, but that wasn't going to stop Shuri. She doggedly carried on despite her partner's hesitation. Kagura suddenly lost her balance and collided with Shuri. The other girl toppled and fell like a domino. Shuri! I instinctively sprang forward. I thought I might be able to catch her, but ended up collapsing along with her. Swoosh. My hand came into contact with something soft. Trying to work out what it was, I moved my hand around some more. A gentle cry rang out in response to my touch. Could this be... Shuri, is this your butt? Well, I'm sorry, it was an accident. Shuri was draped over me, pinning me to the floor. So you pushed me down. Well, it hurt like I'd hit it. I'd scraped my elbows too. Shuri tried to get up from the floor, but she hadn't noticed how her sari was underneath me, so it didn't go very well. Every time she tried to wriggle out, Shuri pressed closer against me. The feeling of her breasts and legs rubbing up against me was making it hard to think straight. Shuri, you're touching my... Despite her protest, she really had started to grind against some of my own sensitive areas. I started to panic and tried to yank the sari away, only to get even more up close and personal with Shuri. Kagura had hold of the video camera and was filming us. Quit messing around and help us. Behind the camera, Kagura mimed a groping gesture as if trying to spur me on. Just hold still. I think I can get us. I tried to pull my hand back, but brushed over Shuri's butt again, provoking a stifled moan. Damn, when'd she get this sexy? The excitement I'd felt before was nothing compared to this. Shuri's breath brushed against my face. At some point, our weight had shifted, and our bodies were now pressed tightly together. Up this close, I could smell her sweat and feel her flushed skin against mine. My heart beat faster and faster. Shuri seemed to notice something and her face went bright red. She squirmed around a little, trying to work out what she was touching.
なんかごめん。本当にごめん。
Still blushing furiously, Shuri managed to disentangle herself from me. Just like that, my all too brief moment of paradise was over. So that's how Shuri's outfit works. With the footage Kagura had collected, I was able to better understand how Shuri's stage outfit was put together. I thought her underwear would be like Kagura's, but actually they only really cover the front. While they did cover the things that needed covering, I could also see why Shuri had been so desperate to avoid being shot from behind. I did tell her I could edit those parts out, though. Mumbling to myself as usual, I set to work. I cut out the more revealing scenes and deleted anything with me in it. As a result, the end product stimulated the imagination even more than expected. I knew the duo weren't especially aiming to become known for their sexiness, but that was exactly what was happening. Well, let's just upload it and see what happens. Still feeling a little frustrated, I uploaded the finished video. This one might just be on par with the one from Kagura's shoot. Oh, comments already? The video's made quite the impression. I told Shuri when the upload was done, and it looked like she'd seen the new flood of adoration.
エッチじゃないもん。お願いだからそういう目で見ないでよ。
シュリタン絵の可愛い。
She's just adding fuel to the fire. Captivated by Shuri's complaints, users started commenting more and more, always bringing up her sexiness.
ああ、意地悪しないでよ。
The fans loved seeing her get flustered, and along with the number of comments, Shuri's rank started to rise more and more. We should probably hurry with whatever we do next. We had a quick meeting before practice. The two of them seemed to be working well with each other, and their performance was getting better. Plus, by uploading bits from practice each day, we were having some success in building that close community-style feeling. Unfortunately for Shuri, most of her fans were following to try and catch a peak, and even then, it's not like there were tons of them to begin with. Objectively speaking, the duo had basically just a mid-level group surviving mostly on sex appeal and weren't really mainstream yet. They were missing something, and that something was clearly what was keeping them from beating their competition.
つまり、何らかのテこ入れが必要ってことね。順位も上がらなくなってきたしね。
We saw a good start, but that was it. There was no way we were going to coast to the top like this. The top 10 divine idols all had their fans, and a scrappy duo like ours had no way of cutting ourselves a portion of them. We should probably settle on a duo name for starters. If we don't hurry and get rid of our temp name, we'll never make it in time.
ヤマトはどうするつもりなの？またファンのみんなにアイディア出してもらうとか？それではダメよ。自分たちのユニットなら自分たちで決めないと。だからそれぞれが案を出しましょう。私とカグラ、それにヤマトも。
Me too? Shouldn't you two do this by yourselves?
ヤマトもずっと一緒に頑張ってきた仲間だから仲間外れにはしたくないよ。そういうこと？考えるのがめんどくさいなんて言ったら怒るわよ。
Okay, well, thanks. I guess I'll try and think of something. I was just supposed to be their human rep, a support role, but I guess at some point I became part of the team. Just thinking about it made me so happy. I couldn't keep a smile off my face. So, I know it's time to start practice, but here's what I was thinking. When we finally decide on an official name, why don't we make a real deal music video to announce it? We shared our practice sessions plenty of times, but never anything that was complete and final. It was time to put on a real performance worthy of divine idols and finally break out of that erotic niche we were stuck in.
いいタイミングかもしれないわね。でも、大丈夫？まだ一度も通して成功してないんだよ。わかってる。でも、いつかは必ず通る道なのよ。 だったら私は今がいい。神楽と私が正式なユニットになるこの時が。
Seemingly moved by Shuri's passion, Kagura nods enthusiastically. The duo was going to dominate the auditions, and this video would be the start of it all. Ready when you are. Camera ready, I waited to get shooting.
こっちもいいわよ。
Shuri placed herself in front of the camera, waiting for that switch to be pressed.
こっちもいいよ。
Kagura was bouncing on the spot, checking her footing. Alright, and action!
ミュージックスタート。
She pressed play and headed right to Kagura's side. I pressed record right as she got there. And shortly after the intro started playing, that was perfect timing. The first line of the song and their steps were perfectly synced. They seemed way more in the moment than during normal practice. They were so focused on getting it right on the first take, they performed better than ever before.
舞い踊れ幸いをレンゲの花に乗せ膝開け輝ける夢へ続く扉
Oh, kind of a long intro, huh?
光満ちる空から遥かこの街へ弾む胸に高鳴ることを音符に乗せて歌い出すよこの声が新しい日をことぶるように梢を行く風の合図舞い歌へ咲き誇れ人へのこの空に今日の花芽生える夢君と君と君と出会うためにきらめく舞台目指して遥かな雲の道駆け抜けたの神に人に恋が始まる よし決まった
Alright, why don't we stop it there? This is Audap. You've been watching Lovekami Divinity stage on Nintendo Switch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.